Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Breakfast All Day. Good to see you. I'm Christy. That is Matt. That is Alonso. Up next for us is this week's installment in the Steve McQueen Small Act series. It's called Red, White, and Blue, and it stars John Boyega. And Alonso will tell you about it.
So, like several of the Small Axe entries, this is a true story. John Boyega plays a London police officer named Leroy Logan, and we meet him as somebody who was originally planning to become a coroner. It's in the early 1980s, but he is recruited to become a police officer because the London police is actively recruiting what they're calling the Afro-Caribbean community. But once he's on the force, even though he is, top of his class, both physically and in terms of the academic aspect of it, despite the fact that his own family has to deal with police racism on a day-to-day basis, he becomes an officer, but finds that he's constantly getting passed over for promotion. Other police officers are very openly racist in the presence of him and another cop who's of South Asian descent. He doesn't get backup when he calls for it, and so he goes from being somebody who's trying to sort of being part of fixing the system from within to realizing that no, the system is super fucked up and it's beyond what one person can do to deal with it. And again, this is set 40 years ago, but seems real relevant right now.
Yeah, there's a scene where the officer who is of Indian descent is speaking to a couple in Urdu after
Mm-hmm.
their store has been vandalized, and there's been a whole string of such crimes up and down the street in this neighborhood, and he gets scolded by a superior white officer saying like they're in England, right? They should speak English. And like it doesn't occur to anybody like the fact that he has this ability is helpful.
Right? Yeah.
There's
It's like,
just such
how
like
dare you?
this shitty racist like monolithic like white Anglo-Saxon superiority to it.
Mm.
Yeah, so once again, this is a story that could have been really straightforward, really simple, ripped from the headlines, and just told in a very straightforward way. Because Steve McQueen is such an artist, he will time and again find really inspired ways to depict this. And a lot of it has to do with the kind of long takes that he is known for, but they will frequently result in like really surprising emotion. So there's a scene that takes place entirely shot from the back seat of a car.
Oh God, that shot.
And I'm not going to say what happens, but like the cameras in the back seat of the
Yeah.
car, people are on the driver's and the passenger side, and they get out and they have a conversation that we see through the windshield. We don't hear what they're saying. We just see it. It's implicit as to what's happening, but it's so heartbreaking to do it, to hold us in that thrall for that long and to do it from that distance. And it has more of an emotional impact than it would if he cut and gotten out of the car with the camera and gotten right up close to what they're saying to each other.
Right.
And he'll make really inspired choices like that over and over again that create a surprising emotional impact because of it.
Yeah, I think I've now seen four of these. I'm going to watch Education this weekend, and that'll be my last one. But they all have this really, they're very evocative of time and place, not just with like the locations and the costumes and the hair, but like the music choices. Like there's a wonderful Mika Levy score here, but then also you get like, an Al Green song or a Billy Joel song that puts you very specifically into this point in history.
You get white lines. So it's
Yeah, white line.
1984.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so it's like what I think that is so great about these is that they're all, this is co-written by Courtney Newland, who collaborated with him on Lovers Rock, which is I think probably still my favorite of this whole series. But it nails it down to a very specific time and place, but at the same time everything that's happening feels like is happening right now as we speak. And so like it's this great kind of thing where it sort of lulls you into a very into the past, but then constantly reminds you no, the past is not past.
Matt.
Yeah, I like this too. I didn't like this as much as Lovers Rock.
No, same. Yeah.
But the style here and the technique that we see is just another great example of Steve McQueen's ability. Boyega is amazing in this, and he carries so much of this movie, and he does a good job of letting us know what he's thinking without saying anything, without, mugging. He's terrific in this, and it makes me excited to see even more from him going forward. I think that this is such a great leading role for him. He's got that simmering anger that pops up, but yet then he can turn around and just be like this young man who likes to have fun and dance around with his buddy. And I love that. And the sense of places also shows up in the cars. I was really impressed with that. Like, his car is exactly that, a hot rod Ford Capri that somebody would like him would have had at that age. I really dug this. I'm not wild about how it ended.
I love the ending. That last scene, I think, is just like a great.
No, I thought that scene was great, but I felt like the rhythm's a little off on it. But apart from that, I think this is terrific.
He does so much in such an economical way, John Boyega. So there's a whole sequence where he's being interviewed for a potential promotion, right? He's like a young probationary officer, and the way Steve McQueen shoots it, he's very much isolated, and he's like facing this very intimidating board of senior officers,
like he was up for parole or something.
But they cut to when he's answering his questions in a very perfunctory and very polite, like, yes, sir, no, sir, it's an honor, sir. You see him from the side. You see him silhouetted against these gauzy white curtains, and it's very rigid, and it's very austere and kind of emotionless. And then they ask him about his father. They ask him a question, a seemingly benign question about his father, but one that like takes him aback, and just in the subtlest way. And then the camera shifts, and then we cut to seeing his face this time, because this is a moment where he's experiencing an actual emotion, and but it's so subtle. It's not melodramatic. It's just like the slightest flinch to let us know, like, ooh, this got to him, but he's still got to hold it together, and he finds that balance really beautifully.
And I think that question is maybe presented benignly, but in the context, like the idea behind it is not benign at all.
There's more going on. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And he knows that, and that he knows that, and it still takes him aback, and he's still pissed, but he's controlling it. And he gives you all of that, between how McQueen shoots it and the way Boyega is right at the edge of being perfectly reserved. And doesn't let anything show through to them. It's terrific, right?
He has to play the game, and the fact and the way that he is increasingly having difficulty playing the game is what brings a lot of tension here and makes it interesting.
Yeah, I could have maybe lived without the Star Wars joke, but
I laughed.
That was so funny. That was a great joke.
Cute.
Steve McQueen is not known for his wackiness, so we'll let it go.
No, that made me smile.
That was such a good. Yeah, I laughed very hard on that.
Okay, so what is everyone's number?
Did I say 9?
You said 9.
9, yes.
I don't remember what I said.
You said
I can 8. Yeah, 8.
Okay, I'm gonna say 7.5. So that's what? Is that 8.2? I just changed my number.
Yes, it is.
Okay, 8.2, and it is on Amazon now, starting today.
It is dropped today. So thanks everybody for watching. Like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check us out on social media at BeFastAllDay on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and please visit our Patreon at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. Exclusive TV recaps like The Mandalorian and Queen's Gambit, and also reviews that only our subscribers get. So maybe you want to be one of them. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye.